Hey guys, thanks for watching this morning. I am going to show you how I am doing a project for a Mother's Day cutting board using my tracing tool within Silhouette Studio. So what I'm going to do first is find the image that I want to use, and this is a handprint that was sent to me. I'm just going to have to take kind of a mental note on whose handprint it is. Actually, I could just probably put it in here. I'm not sure if it's going to transfer over with the name or not. So this is Paul's handprint. We're going to go ahead and click save, and that's going to save to our computer, and we are going to find the file in our downloads. There we go, and go ahead and drag it into Silhouette. Alright, now once we have that, we are going to go ahead on my Silhouette Studio. Let's get rid of that. I somehow lost my panel here. That's not my normal panel. I'm not sure where it went to, so just bear with me for a moment here. Trying to find my trace tool, and usually it's right on the right hand side. I'm not quite sure where it went to. There it is. Okay, so if you can't find it, you can go up to panels and make sure that trace tool is selected. We're going to say select trace area, and I'm just going to go ahead and trace the hand. And then we're going to go and make sure that is completely solid, where all the whole hand is yellow. If it's not, you can take this threshold and just bring it up just a tad. Obviously, you don't want it looking like this, or that whole area is going to be engraved. So just enough to make sure the whole yellow. And if it's not enough, it's going to look like this with some gaps in between, and we don't want that either. So we want to find just that perfect area where it is only tracing the hand. And that looks about good right there. Go ahead and click trace, and you can see that red outline, it did trace it. So we can go ahead and get rid of that main picture, and let's flip this the right way. Make that black, make that black, and we're going to save it as Paul's hand and save it as an SVG. And now I have 5 of these to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this with all 5 of the hands, and I will come back and finish with you guys. So feel free to pause the video or rewind it to go through this step again. Alright, then we are going to go ahead and go to a new format within Glowforge. I already have this up here because this was old from last year, so I have the exact font I want, and they do want the date on here, so we're going to change this to 2023, and I have some names. These aren't the correct names, but I wanted to keep this here just so I could see the font that I was using. Okay, so we are going to want to grab all of our hands, and we are going to start, actually I have to see what order she wants it in. So Rosalie is going to be first, and Rosalie is 5.25 inches. So we're going to go ahead and input and find Rosalie. And the tracing tool is great because it actually measures from literally here to here in height. So we're going to go to our ruler down here and resize the height to 5.25 inches and go ahead and click engrave, and we are going to be engraving these on the Acacia cutting board. So Rosalie is first. We'll put that over here, and we're going to change the name. And we might have to adjust the names and such just to make sure that everything fits. And they actually wrote this really adorable thing for the top, and some of my customers do handwrite these out. So I give them the option. I can always, I can write Happy Mother's Day or Happy Birthday or to Grandma, to Mom, whatever. In this case, they had one of their children handwrite it out, so I'm going to be using that. There we go, and you can see it's on the cut mode. We're going to change it to engrave and acacia board, and this is probably going to have to be smaller because we do have 5 hands. Okay, so the next one is Nicholas, and Nicholas is 4.75. And if this is just too repetitive, you can feel free to fast forward through this. I know sometimes, at least in my case, repetitiveness does help me learn faster. So there we go, 5.75 from here up to the middle finger. And I'm just going to copy and paste and change this to Nicholas. Next, I keep forgetting the order. Paul, and Paul is 4 inches. Engrave acacia. In the acacia settings, I have are 1,000 and then 70 for power. Oh, this is cute. You can tell that this is just a little one. The little ones I noticed have a hard time tracing their hands, like when they're 6 months and their hands are just, it's harder to work with, but it's absolutely adorable. Okay, we have 2 more to do, so we might have to squeeze these and scatter them around. I'm gonna have to talk to the customer and see if that's okay, because when you have so many to work with, it just gets a lot harder to do. All right, Charlotte is next, 3.75. And of course we can't make these smaller at all because they want them to be the exact size of their hands. So we will just have to figure this out once we get them all up here. And it's easier if we put in our board so we can kind of see what we're working with, and then we can go from there. Excuse the noise, it sounds like the garbage truck is here. Alright, I'm not sure why this one's taking so long to load. There we go. Oh, you know what? I might have saved this one wrong. I must have. Okay. Oh, I might have grabbed or saved it as a PNG. Which one was that again? Charlotte? No, I'm not sure what happened with that. Let's try to add that again. I did save it as an SVG. Well, if this one doesn't work, I might have to redo that one. I'm just going to go ahead and pause this while I'm waiting for it to load so you guys don't have to sit here and wait. Okay, I do have a new one for Charlotte now. I'm not sure what happened to that one, but I redid it, so I'm hoping it works this time. And this one is going to be 3.75. All right, sorry about that. I walked away for a second. Engrave. And that, I added a line, and I think maybe that's why it didn't connect. So I added a line to that. And we're going to move this over. And that comes after Paul. Oh boy, we lost a part of the finger. Okay, let's undo that. We're going to just grab it all right away. Boy, this has a lot of different clips, and I'm not sure why. Must have been the way it was traced. Maybe we can get rid of some of these. That's funny because I did not see this when we were in Silhouette, but I'd rather not have these little marks on my cutting board, so we will get rid of them, as many as we can. It must just be little pen marks that were on the paper. Obviously, doing a clean trace is best, but I know it's not always possible with littles. Okay, I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. So we can go ahead and highlight all this. We're gonna make sure, we're gonna like group this all together just so we can make sure this all stays together this time. So group, and height is 3.75, and this one is Charlotte. And we have one more left to do. See, one more little mark here we're going to get rid of. There we go. All right, last one is Sophia, 3.25. And I hope this one copied okay. So far the only issue is Charlotte. It's like the more projects you have, the more files you have onto a project, it seems to slowly load. Okay, this one's giving me the same error. So I have a feeling, yep, there are some things that are kind of just miscut or mistraced where everything's not connected, which is okay, we can work with it. All right, we are going to redo this one too. So I'm gonna go back and save this. And you can kind of see what happened there with the extra lines, and I tried to get that out, but it's not always perfect to do that, so I can see where that happened. All right, flip this around, and I'm going to just try to erase some of this. I think what's important is we don't erase anything that's connected to that main finger. We don't want any holes. And if they give you a traced image like that, you're just gonna have to work with it. I know it's not super easy. I'm just trying to make it as clean as possible. So like, I mean, we can get rid of a little bit of this, but see, you can see right here, that was too much in there. So we can always make the eraser smaller, but then of course that's hard to see too. So we can get rid of some of this. It helps to have a little skill of Silhouette, which I've been working with them for like a year now. So I have some knowledge, but I am definitely no pro. Okay, so we are going to try to trace this and see if it works a little bit better here. Select trace area. And let's just try to move the threshold up, but see if we move it up too much, it gives us all that yellow shadows. But I think the issue is it's not connecting to some of these points, like right here it's not connecting. So we can attempt to connect it ourselves. I think that is the only spot. Alright, let's try that. Oops. Okay. We'll move that off. And I might need to connect this just a little more. There we go. Okay, so we are going to highlight this entire thing, make this black, and let's hope that that worked. And go ahead and save it. And now I just forgot what name it was. I believe it was Sophia. Save that. Yep, Sophia, 3.25. All right, last one here. So the important thing is with silhouette is to make sure that all of your paths are connected, or you're going to get that error, and it's going to want to engrave the background and such. All right, we're going to move this over. You can see that it's all connected, just like Charlotte's was, is two different paths. So move it out of the way. Go ahead and group it together. Oh, I lost it. Oh, where'd it go? All right, undo. Sometimes it's best just to undo to bring things back. All right, group. Oh, it is grouped. Okay, perfect. That's weird because it's showing up different on here. All right, well, 3.25. And you can definitely see that this is off the page. So our cutting board is going to stop right here. So we are going to have to kind of just work with the names and adjust things. I might have to move a couple of the handprints down here. So we will go ahead and see what we can do. Oops. And I will get back to you guys. All right. So what I ended up doing was taking the 3 oldest right here and the 2 youngest, putting them on the bottom. This is the best we can do with this size board. So I put my board in there, the acacia wood, and of course we want to make sure everything over on this side is set to engrave and is set to the acacia setting, which is 1000 and then 70 and then 1 pass. Put our board in there, and you can hear probably that my machine is working right now. So we are just going to make sure that this is all lined up correctly. Sometimes this does adjust and change, so we want to make sure it doesn't change. Alright, it just finished, and it is perfect. Super cute. I think she's going to be really happy.